I am City Councilman at Large Andrew R. Liuzzo. I ran for City Council 2 years ago because I was tired of complaining about what I saw as the continued decline of our city, and I wanted to see if I could make a difference. During that campaign, my appeal to voters was, what do you want? I'm listening. Over the last 2 years, I have done exactly that. I made myself available to everyone who contacted me. I addressed the concerns that I could, and I brought forward the ones that I couldn't. Because my only objective was to serve the residents of Jamestown and not the agendas of the city government, I have stood alone on City Council. I asked questions on behalf of citizens, and I pushed for real transparency, true accountability, and fiscal responsibility. The current administration and many members of the council were not pleased that I would dare question the way that they have been running the city. I'm running for mayor to represent the residents in the neighborhoods that have been ignored and dismissed. The loss of jobs, the declining quality of life, and the exodus of so many Jamestown natives have all motivated my bid for mayor. I am the only city council person in 28 years to seek the office of mayor. I am also the only candidate that challenged our current mayor. The cornerstone of my campaign and the culture change I'm promoting involves neighbors being better neighbors. Unless we look to help each other, we cannot help ourselves. Neighbors helping neighbors will result in better neighborhoods, better wards, better community. A better community will result in community development. Community development results in economic growth. Economic growth results in more employment. The city needs to depend on its own citizens to stop the decline and loss of opportunities. We will also restore relationships with our city's neighbors, which are the surrounding municipalities. You've heard it said many times throughout this administration's lengthy tenure, and with the council's approval, what's good for Jamestown is good for everyone. Again, I disagree. What's good for Lakewood, Ellicott, Faulkner, and Frewsburg is also good for Jamestown. Being better neighbors, negotiating rather than litigating, benefits everyone involved, except the lawyers. Jamestown was built by the innovators of the time. The city's industry and commerce were kickstarted by people who depended on themselves. Homegrown enterprises grew to gain national and international acclaim. Our economic success occurred because the entrepreneurs that pursued their own freedom and happiness by taking a risk instead of waiting for outsiders to come in and provide jobs. There are still vestiges of this self-sustaining spirit. Operations such as Ring Precision, Art Tone, Hope's Windows, and Jamestown Awning, to name a few, are still going strong after generations in business. I believe that we have not depleted the homegrown talent. For example, abandoned factories throughout town could be repurposed for alternate use and job opportunities. Most of us are well aware of Jamestown's substandard housing and the deteriorating neighborhoods. There are roughly 2,700 empty lots in the city. 2,700. The majority of those lots were formerly occupied by homes. The city's current codes effectively prohibit a structure to be replaced on an existing lot. The code calls for square footage that exceeds what was once there and calls for more frontage than the neighboring homes, meaning a prospective homeowner would need to buy multiple lots to build a larger home than if the existing lot could be reused. How many people are willing to spend $180,000 or more to build homes in the neighborhoods where many of these abandoned lots exist? My guess is none. What if we were to build our own prefabricated homes? We sell them, we build them, we deliver them, and we install them, all while providing jobs that don't require a college degree, and giving people an opportunity to provide for their families. Additionally, this operation was employee-owned. It would encourage productivity and quality products. For $60,000 to $75,000, people could buy a quality, well-built, modern home. I have an example of 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,200 square foot, and 3 bedroom, 2 baths, 1,600 to 1,800 square foot homes that would fit on existing lots. And they include a garage. The monthly mortgage payment would be significantly less compared to the rent being paid on these older and less efficient apartments. Losing nearly 3,000 homes from the tax bill mandates that everyone else's taxes go up. We are at the highest constitutional taxing limit in this state, increased by 2% for the last 2 years. And for perspective, we are at 104% compared to 3 years ago, when we were already at our maximum. Now let's say we sell 100 of these prefab homes, accounting for less than 4% of the empty lots. And we sell them at $60,000. That's $6 million back on the tax roll. If we sell 200, 300, 8 to 12%, the taxable property increases exponentially. The more homes we can place on existing lots translates to lower taxes for everyone, because we are building the base. Even better, the social and economic value of these neighborhoods would dramatically increase. Another purpose for unused industrial space can be modeled off a program in Cleveland, Green City Growers, in which 30 acres of urban space houses hydroponic farming under one roof. This operation is also employee-owned, does not require skilled labor. It provides leafy vegetables year-round to schools, hospitals, nursing homes, grocery stores, even Wegmans and some area restaurants. The pesticide-free operation uses only ladybugs to combat the pests and provides jobs and economic development to an otherwise neglected area. Other ideas for repurposing our industrial space includes a community laundry facility, employee-owned, that provides service to hospitals and nursing homes, and even the public. Cold storage for food and candy distributors out in the Midwest that often transport their products up to 1,000 miles for later shipping. And addressing the food deserts in our neighborhoods by establishing smaller grocery stores with fresh meat, dairy, and vegetables, so residents don't have to rely on convenience stores to supplement their diets. We are in the right geographic location. We have the space and we have the talent for investors and enterprisers who want to establish or expand their businesses. And if we ever get rail services back to the city, the possibility would be evidence. Steps to further address Jamestown's financial situation would be to identify the inefficiencies and the redundancies and consolidate or share these services. We will also take steps to ensure that everyone benefiting from the services is contributing to sustain them. Our current and future manufacturers would also do well to increase their interaction with the public and private school systems, introducing grades 6 to 8 to the opportunities that skilled work can provide for a lifetime. We would rather see our future generations turning metal than turning to illegal activities. In terms of the illegal activities that have hurt Jamestown, closer neighborhoods can strengthen neighborhood watch programs. Repurposed buildings can include rehabilitation facilities and jobs for past offenders. And a culture change can lead to a more energized, engaged, and neighborly Jamestown. Nothing will change unless we, residents and city government, work together by getting interested and involved. Elect representatives that listen and work for everyone. There needs to be a change every 4 to 8 years. Term limits, starting with the mayor's office right down through city council. That's the only way to ensure motivated and refreshed city government for the years to come. Team Jamestown, as it's been called, is going strong after more than 20 years. They're committed to keeping the power they've enjoyed. But it's fair to ask ourselves, how's that worked for the rest of us? Which team are they playing for? And the other major party is playing the same game, acquire power for the party. For too many years, our elected officials have become complacent. If voters are serious about a change, they must remove the party blinders. We have the opportunity to elect new people who are committed to working for all instead of their party's narrow interests. My values have remained the same throughout my adult life. I was a registered Democrat because JFK said, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. I became a registered Republican. Ronald Reagan had said, I believe the best social program is a job. I started Yankee Painter and Wallpapering, and I applied that concept to the many people I hired over the 20 years I was in business. Now, as a libertarian, I still believe in the involvement of the democratic process, less government interference, real transparency, true accountability, and full fiscal responsibility, and the pursuit of happiness and freedom to be who and what you want to be. Parties are just labels and don't represent all people fully. In fact, to paraphrase George Washington, in his farewell address, parties can take power and choice away from the people. And we can start in this election, in our small but great city, to channel the spirit of the Founding Fathers into the way Jamestown is run. For the people, by the people. Samuel A. Carlson, a Republican, finished his last term in 1934. And Leon Roberts, a Democrat, took over until 1938. From 1938 to 1964, the citizens of Jamestown elected 6 third-party mayors. Much of Jamestown's prosperity occurred in the years during which the administration was not bound by a major party and resonated more closely with the residents. Regardless of the reason, an important period of our city's history was a time focused on independence from major parties and independence of thought. Local government is the most important government because it affects us most directly, most immediately, and most profoundly. We have the opportunity to start fresh, be the change, elect leaders who are willing to work for all residents. I am encouraging voters to stay involved, learn as much as they can, and keep pointless party alliances aside as we approach November. I have promised, I have been, and I will continue to be, if elected mayor, here to listen and to serve the residents of the city of Jamestown. I'm running because I care. Thank you all for coming tonight, and thank you for your continued involvement in the future of this great city.